Good morning, boys and girls. I cannot make it smaller. Happy Monday and last week of school, and then we go on vacations. I am so happy to see you as always. Happy that some of you are your second week back at school. So let's begin our class. Okay, we are going to learn something different today. I am so excited and I know you are going to love it. So, before I tell you what we're learning today, I want to make a fast review with you of some things that we learned since we came back from Christmas vacation in January. So, remember, before measuring, we learned that everything begins from a point. Remember? Now, who remembers what do we do when we have 2 points and we connect them? Excellent. The one that says set a line segment, you are correct. We learn a line segment. That remember a line segment, the two periods mean it stops there, okay? I can even put the arrow, but the period means that it stops there, okay? Now, who remembers what is this? Excellent. I heard a lot of you saying it. This is a line. We don't have the endpoints here. That means that the line continues, 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 and it never stops. Unless you put the 2 points, that becomes a line segment. If it doesn't have the points, it's a line. Then, who remembers what's this? Oh, I heard a lot of you saying it. It's a ray. Exactly, this is a ray. Then we learned that when two of these connect, rays, lines, line segments, when they connect, we form angles. Remember? This is an angle, a close angle, a right angle. Remember the ones that form a perfect L, and you can even put a square in the corner. That's the angle inside. Or a super open angle. This is small, this is right, this is big angle. And then we learn with all this, we learn about shapes, that lines that connect or line segments. They even form angles here. Remember, this is one angle from here to here, from this line to this line, other angle, from this line to this line, other angle, from this line to this line, other angle. This is what we learned like in January, the beginning of February, remember? We already even had an exam on that. Okay, so now later we went to learn to measure these lines or measure distances, okay? So to review that, where is my mouse? Remember, we learned that we can use different tools. That tool is the ruler, or the tool is this, the protractor, or the tool is the measuring tape. Remember, or the meter stick. But the unit is what we really use to measure, what is inside the ruler. And here the units are centimeters. And remember, we put it in the zero. So for example, this line would be 4 centimeters. Okay, we learn distances. We learn how to measure angles with this. We put it in the center, remember? And then we go from 0, from this line, we go to the other line and we see that it's 90 degrees. Let's measure this one, for example. We put this line in the corner where the two lines connect, and then we go from 0, and this line gets to 55, between the 50 and the 60. So this line is 55 what? Centimeters, kilometers, meters, inches, millimeters. Do you see why now it is important to say what? What unit? Which unit did we use to measure? And in angles, we put a little circle. No, it doesn't show the way I want. And it's called degrees, okay? This is just a fast review so you understand what we are doing today. So we learned to measure with a ruler. We learned to measure with a protractor. Even we didn't really do it, but I show you how. And now guess what? With this, we measure angles. With the ruler, we measure lines or distances with kilometers. Remember, from here to your house, to the school, to Disney, you measure with kilometers, meters, smaller distances or lengths of things with meters, centimeters, millimeters, okay? But guess what? Here, we could measure this line outside. We could measure this line that is on this side. We could measure this other line. And we can measure the line at the top. Okay, that we already know. So to measure this, we can measure this outside. But now, here comes, that's why I wanted to do this review. Now here comes what we are going to learn this week. We are going to continue measuring, but guess what? We are going to measure, let me do it with red so you understand, the inside of the shapes. That means all this inside, that it would take me a lot to color it here, but this. We have to measure the inside. Okay, that's why here I had another shape more pretty. So I want you to think. This is the check what you know. Or also not exactly what you know, but maybe see if you can think of how to do it. So imagine, I have here on the next page, a soccer field, okay? Of course it is a picture, but imagine that it's a huge soccer field. And we want to measure not the outside. We want to measure how many grass we need to put inside, all the green color. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to ask Mr. Danny at school to pause the video. And I want you to think, how can we measure the inside? You know we have used this, but this is for angles. And here we're not measuring the angle right now. If I want to measure from here to here, yes. But right now, bye-bye protractor. We don't need you, okay? Maybe we can use a ruler. I will leave it, maybe. Think about it. Think if we can use the ruler to measure all the green color, all the inside. So I'm going to ask Mr. Danny to pause the video, or Maria, whoever is helping me, pause the video, and I'm going to give you 15 seconds to think about it. Okay, if you are back, it's because you already thought about it, and I want to hear some of your answers. Okay. Wow, very good. Sorry, my dog is. So, guess what? Here comes the answer. We cannot use a ruler to measure this. We cannot use it. Imagine how long would it take us maybe to measure with the ruler from here to here. But we are not measuring one side. I said the green color. That means we need to measure all these, all the green color, that it would take me 1 hour to color it, but it's already green. All this, the inside, we have to measure it. So with the ruler, we cannot do that because the ruler is just to measure a straight line. The ruler, we can just use it to measure this or measure, let me get that. This is easier. Or measure this, or with the ruler, we can measure this, or with the ruler, we can measure this. But if you see the lines there, it's only the outside. We are not really measuring inside. If you need to buy grass for a soccer field and you just measure the outside, they will just give you very little grass for the outside and the inside. So that's what we are learning today. And that's called the area. The area is the inside of shapes or things. The area is all this that is inside. And here is the surprise of what we use to measure. What do you see here? Exactly. We use squares to measure the area. We use squares to measure the inside the area. Okay? And how do we do that? We just cover with squares all the inside. That would be 1, that would be 2, that would be 3. Okay, it gets a little bit out, but it doesn't matter. And that's it. We just continue filling all the area with squares. That would be 4. That would be 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh God, my program closed in the middle of the video. Sorry, technology problems. Let me open it again. Let's wait. Meanwhile, here it is. Open board, yeah. What if I put, no, ignore that. Then I go here, and I can, no, here, I can find, look, these are all the open boards that I have used with you. Is it this one? Yeah. Why is not opening this one? No. Sorry for this little technology problem. There it is. Yeah, it's this one. We were, sorry. Yeah, finally I got it, voice. Sorry. So we were counting the area. That means counting, filling it with squares. And then we continue. Other square, other square, other square. Sorry for my doggy, as always. Other square, Gavanna, come here. Until we fill, oh God, all the area, all the space. Even if it gets out, it is what I told you when we measure with the ruler. If the space is taking most of the square, yes, we count it. If it was only that tiny part, no, we don't count it because it's only this part. But here, yes, it's almost half of the square or even more. So yes, we count it. 2, 3. So that's the area. Do you see how I use squares to cover all the space inside, not only the outside? So that's the area, the inside. Now let's count the area, the squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This little picture is not a real soccer field. That picture is 15 square centimeters. Well, right now, let's just say squares. I almost tell you the answer of something else. So for this, we are gonna write it like this. 15 square units. Okay? Remember, a unit is centimeters. Inches is a unit. Millimeters is a unit. Meters is a unit. Kilometers is a unit. Squares, now we're using squares, so that's our unit. That's why we say 15 square units. Okay? Did you get it, boys? Yay! Area is super easy. Let's go to the next. So now let's learn. This page is from your math book. So let's read it together. Don't open your microphones. Just read after or read with me, not without microphones. These figures are made up of square tiles. Just tiles are just these that you have even in the bathroom, you know, or sometimes in the kitchen, on the floor, we have tiles. So it says, these figures are made up of square tiles. Each figure is made up of 6 square tiles. The figures have different shapes, but they have the same size. If you see, this shape is different than this shape is different, this shape is different, this shape is different, and this shape is different. But all of them have the same area. So that's important. Why? Because remember, the area are the square units. Let's count so you can see that it's true. No microphones, but count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So do you see it's true that all of them have the same number of squares? And because they have the same number of squares, it's the same area. Okay, but different shape. Pay attention for this, because then in an exam, we're going to ask you, make a shape that has the same area. So again, it's like this. They have the same area, but they don't have to be the same shape. You only use the same number of squares, but make a different shape, but with the same number of squares. That makes the same area. Thumbs up? Excellent. Okay. So the area of each figure is 6 square units. Right now, that's what we're going to say. Square units, because we're not using centimeters, we're not using meters, we're not using kilometers, we're not using centimeters, inches, millimeters. We're using squares. So you have to say, what do you use to measure? And we're using squares. That's our unit. Now it's your turn to practice. Look at this figure of the tiles, this one. And before I tell you the answer, I want to see who can think and get the answer. Tell me the area of this blue, this one. Count and tell me the area. Write it on your whiteboard, write it on a paper. Okay, this is your participation grade. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to let you count to find the area. Okay, if you are back, I heard some of your answers, and here comes the answer. Ready? Drum rolls, everyone. Excellent, very good. So I'm gonna put a check just so we don't get confused where we are, okay? So let's begin. This is not complete, so I will not count it. Let's go here. One, no. Well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Don't celebrate yet. If you said that it was 20, dun, dun, dun. No, it's not 20 squares because guess what? This is part of the shape and some of you didn't count it. This is part of the shape. We have to count it. This is part of the shape. Even it's not complete. But can we say this is 1 square? No, right? So I'm going to pause the video and hear some answers if someone tried something. Okay, if we are back, it's because I heard your answers. And even maybe I already told you what's the answer. Let me explain it here for the ones that need more help. Look at this that I have here. This little part is half of a square. So if I use it with this little part of the other side, dun, dun, dun. Even I turn it around, but look what happens. Ta-da! We make 1 square. So did you see how I brought again this little part with this little part? If we put them together, we make 1 square. So that means that we had 20 plus this half and this half, that's 21, and still we're not finished. Here I have other part of a square, other half, and other half of a square, that's other square. So we had 20, 21 with these two parts, 22 with these two parts. Yay! All the ones that said 22 square units. Oh my God, a pat on your back. Square units. It doesn't matter if you didn't put square units. You're gonna get used to put it right now. As long as you said it was 22, a pat on your back. Very good. Excellent, boys. I am so happy. So here it is what I just told you. If you cut, let me make it bigger so you can see it, what the boy is thinking. He's thinking, so if I cut 1 square in the half diagonal, I get 2 pieces. This is 1/2 of a square unit, another half of a square unit. So 1/2, this, and 1/2 make 1. Then this half of the bottom plus this half make other square. So we had 20 complete squares and 2 more. That's 22 square units. Well, time to practice. I want you to answer the area of these 3 shapes on your whiteboard, recycling paper, notebook. I'm going to ask Mr. Danny to pause the video while you do it and to send me a photo of your answers. Okay, if you are back, it's because I already saw your answers. So here are the answers. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 square units. We do have to say 9 what? 9 candies, 9 centimeters, 9 meters, 9 kilometers. No, these are 9 square units. Okay? The next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we learned in the exercise before. This is half of a square plus other half of a square. That's 1. So 1 and the other 6 is 7 square units. Very good, boys. And the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we have 2 halves, that makes 1. So we have 10 and one more. 11 square units. Who got it good? Who got the 3 good? I am so proud of you. Isn't this easy and fun? It's super easy. Just count the square units. And just remember, when you have half and half, put them together to make one more square. Well, now it's your turn to go and do your math book. For the ones that have the math book, it's page 166. The ones that have iPad or computer, it's in your Google Slides. You can open it and just read carefully. Here it says, the area of shape A, here you put it. The area of shape B, go to B and count the area. The area of shape C, go to C, count the area. But now they are asking, shape is the biggest. So which shape has the biggest area? You put here A, B, or C. Okay? Then shape is the smallest. So which of these shapes has the smallest area? And then you go to the next one. My computer is starting to get slow. Again, it's still page 166. Which 2 shapes are of the same size? The same size. So you don't forget, because even I forget, boys. So don't feel bad. So you don't forget, I would get the letter T, count the area, and write it here. You don't have to. I am just giving you clues. Why I cannot do it? You see, I am clicking and nothing is happening. Look, I even want to do, but well, you do it. I don't know what's happening to my crazy computer. Get the T and write here the area of this shape, write the area of this shape, write this one, write this one. And then you can see which 2 shapes have the same area. Easy or difficult? Yay, I'm so excited. Well, good luck, boys. See you back in the classroom. Do your best.